đường cùng đầy phiền não. Hay giáo pháp Như Lai, một gia tài bất tử, một gia tài phù du, con thích gia tài nào, hỡi con thơ dấu yêu.
Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. À, kính thưa quý thầy, quý sư, các giáo sư cũng như tất cả các Phật tử thân mến. Hôm nay trong một cái không khí rất là ấm áp, chúng tôi muốn chia sẻ một chút xíu. Vào đầu tháng 6 năm 2013, chúng tôi đến tại trường Đại học Harvard. Chúng tôi vào trong trường Đại học Harvard, chúng tôi giống y như là một đứa trẻ mà được trở về nhà của mình, giống y như là một người đi lâu lắm. Giống như là một người đi lâu lắm, bây giờ về được nhà của mình. Bởi lẽ cuộc đời của chúng tôi thực sự từ lúc nhỏ lớn lên, con đường học vấn gian lao cơ cực vô cùng. Khi đến trường đại học Harvard, chúng tôi mong muốn được ngồi ở dưới mái trường đó và cố gắng trong vòng 10 năm, có lẽ cũng lấy được xong cái tiến sĩ tại Harvard. Nhưng mà cuộc đời xuôi ngược không giống như mình muốn. Nhân duyên lại đẩy chúng tôi về tại vùng Nam Cali này. Xin mời sư dịch mấy câu.
Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Okay. So, respect to the Triple Champ, the warm welcome all professors, the special guests. In 2013, over 10 years ago, our masters went to Harvard University. At that time, he feel like a small child, and he feel amazing. He wished to attend that universities and wish to graduate PhD degree there. But sometimes dream and real life is not the same. So because of his destiny, push him come to USA and establish this university.
Thưa quý vị, lúc đó chúng tôi đi vào ở trong cái môi trường của trường học và đi vô, thấy cái phòng nào mình cũng mở cửa mình vô. Và ở trong đó có nhiều lớp học á, tôi đang học. Chúng tôi mở cửa, chúng tôi vô. Vô thì người ta ngạc nhiên. Người ta nhìn thấy một cái vị tu sĩ tự nhiên xuất hiện đứng giữa cửa. Và chúng tôi nói rằng cho học với. Họ không hiểu gì cả.
At that time, our master enter every open classroom. Some classroom they are the study games, and our master told them that okay, let me learn too.
Thưa quý vị, các Phật tử đưa chúng tôi đến cái ngôi trường đó. Họ đứng, họ nhìn và họ chảy nước mắt.
His the Buddhist following him. He looked at that features. He feels sad and dropping the tear.
Sự khát khao trên con đường học tập của chúng tôi như một ngọn lửa cháy bừng, không bao giờ chấm dứt.
Our master dreams of learning is like the burning fire is non-stop.
Nhưng mà túi đời càng ngày càng lớn, chúng tôi cũng không thể nào ngồi ở dưới mái trường được. Cho nên khi đến tại vùng Nam Cali này, chúng tôi phát nguyện mở một cái trường đại học Phật giáo.
But like it's getting old every time, so that he cannot continue sitting in this the shell the shadows of the school or university, so that he decide to opening or building this university, Sakya Buddha University.
Và ở trong và từ đó mà chúng tôi nghĩ rằng chúng tôi không có cái cơ hội đi học, nhưng chúng tôi có thể à, trải một con đường cho người nào muốn đi học có thể học được.
He know he could not continue to study, but he can create the new channels, opportunity for the others.
Chúng tôi có một câu nói, một vị Bồ Tát ra đời hàn gắn sự đổ nát của thế gian, chứ không làm cho thế gian thêm đổ nát.
And he has uh, the, the sentence or the message, for bodhisattvas who are coming to this world to create the world, is not to ruin this world.
Và ở trong không gian hiện tại này, chúng tôi chỉ có muốn nói một câu, đó là đây đôi chân của tôi, đời hãy bước lên mà đi.
Here and now, like is our master stepping, please moving forward.
Và do vậy mà ở đây trường đại học Saya chúng ta hoàn toàn là miễn phí tất cả mọi việc. Chúng tôi muốn tạo một cái môi trường cho các vị học. Và tại sao chúng tôi nói cái điều này? Đó là hôm nay chúng ta đón chào một vị giảng viên trẻ tuổi đang dạy tại Đại học Harvard đến với cái nội dung hội thảo hôm nay.
At this university, everything is free, learning free, staying free, everything free, Sakya Buddha only. And today we are very honored to welcome professors from Harvard University.
Cho tôi kính chúc buổi hội thảo được khá nhiều kết quả tốt đẹp và các vị chia sẻ được nhiều kiến thức tuyệt vời.
I wish all of you with these presentations as well as the seminars be well, and please open mind to sharing the knowledge to each other.
Bây giờ chúng tôi nhường cái không gian này lại cho giáo sư hiệu trưởng và mời giáo sư hiệu trưởng lên giới thiệu giảng viên ở trong cái buổi hội thảo này.
At this time, for our chancellors, Professor Dr. Victor Cabrera.
So, welcome to Visa 2650 Tripitaka Recitation Ceremony and Lecture Series. Tonight is the third in that series. As we know, as the series began, we have this idea of Dharma and how it nourishes us. But then there is also the opposite, how we nourish the Dharma. So today's talk will lean more towards that. And I have the great pleasure and honor to introduce my recently made friend, Dr. AnushaKahadagama, Kahadagama, yes, who works at Harvard University. She is a Buddhist scholar and activist. She completed her PhD at the School of Social Sciences in the University of Otago. She also holds an MPhil in sociology from South Asian University and a master's degree in sociology from the University of Colombo. Her research interests includes new Buddhist movements, the evolution of Buddhism, and Buddhist nationalism, with a broader focus on reconciliation. In addition, she served as a researcher for the Consultation Task Force on Reconciliation Mechanisms in Sri Lanka. She has published in peer-reviewed journals, and a forthcoming book, Worldly Saints and Everyday Nirvanas, Negotiating Power and Authority in Buddhist Sri Lanka, explores power and authority in Buddhist Sri Lanka. So with great pleasure, we want to learn from you.
Uh, uh, Good evening, everyone. Good evening, venerables. Good evening, bhikkhunis, and my friends, professors, students, and amazing volunteers for making this event possible and inviting me to share my ideas on world peace and Buddhism. So, okay. So when you talk about world peace, it has become such a buzzword, right? Like everybody talks about it, but nobody's achieving it, or like we are not even closer. So that's the reality, harsh reality. So I would say world peace is difficult or impossible to achieve. I'm not being pessimistic here, but rather being realistic. So, but it doesn't mean that we should not try. We have to try as much as possible. We have to try because we are human beings. At the same time, we have to try because we are Buddhists more than human beings. So it's not like we are better than other humans, but maybe we have like a different knowledge system. We can engage with peace. So that is something amazing, I think. So, so we Buddhists are against any kind of killing or violence. That's why achieving peace is not something alternative for us. It's something like it's a necessity. We should do it. We should engage in different capacities to achieve peace in different levels. It's not only about world peace also. Okay. Okay. I'm a bit unwell, so my voice might tremble. Please bear with me. Okay. Okay, so greed, delusion, hatred, all these things are. So when I say greed, delusion, and hatred, we always think about individuals. We always think about it's within us or arising within us. But what do you think? Do they exist in institutions or states? What do you think? Yes. How? Why? Policy. Okay. What else? Why great delusion and hatred exist in institutions or state? Because they are not subjects, right? They are not individuals, but they consist of individuals, right? So because of that, they are not like apart from it, but they're so much embedded within greed, delusion, and hatred. So because of this greed, delusion, and hatred, world is directed towards violence. Like that's why we can't achieve world peace. Oh, sorry, I'm like confused. Wait. Okay. Okay. Sorry, there's a lot of harsh things here. So first one, I will give you some examples. When institutions or state are engaging with this kind of delusion, hatred, or like greed, we call it national security. So when the state is very greedy, they say that it's for the national security, or that's the foreign policy. Then we accept it. But when the individuals are greedy, they call it's a crime. So when you like steal from someone, it's a crime. When you kill someone out of hatred, it's a crime. But when the state kills, it's not considered as a crime. It's like legally approved. So all the wars happening or happened, or like violence happening or happened, most of the time happened under a law. It's like law is there, but law is justifying what is happening. So it's happening under a legal system. So we always think in our assumptions that legal systems would protect us. But that's not the case, because legal system would not protect every human being. It would protect some people. It would not protect all the people. So it exploits people and it kills people. And it says, oh, this is for the national security. This is our foreign policy. We are the great nation in the world. So we have to act in a certain way, right? So if we talk about Nazi Germany, so Nazi Germany, in 1933, what happened? Do anyone know what happened in Nazi Germany? Were you there, 1933? No, right? So no, me neither. Sad. Anyways, so popular understanding is that Hitler just ruled as a dictator. He was not a fine person. He's a dictator. That's the popular understanding. But whatever he did under a legal system. It was all legalized. So the Holocaust happened under a legal system. Holocaust was like legal at that point of time. Later we realized that it was not legal, but that was so, like, we are so late when we realized it. So Holocaust, you know what Holocaust means, right? Mass slaughter, Germans killing Jewish people. And then apartheid. Does anyone know what apartheid is? Sorry? Yes, something like that. So apartheid happened from like during 1948 to 1990. Think about it. 1990 is so recent, right? So the law was, so they separated people based on color, skin color, so white and black. And black people could not enter some areas, and black people had different laws, and white people had different laws. Some kind. Oh, okay. 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 So government wrote rules to divide people. What happened in 1950 under the apartheid law, the white minority government, colonizers, they were the minority, black were the majority, but the minority were ruling the majority. And what minority did, they noticed black neighborhoods, you have to evacuate the neighborhoods. And 3 million black people had to just evacuate the neighborhood because white people did not like them in their neighborhoods. And if you want to enter into white spaces, you have to have some kind of a passbook with a stamp on it. And if you don't have it, then you will be imprisoned. So this rule was there till 1990. Can you imagine? Like 1990, we were fine with it. The entire world was fine with it. We were happily having our tea and sweets and like, okay, it's fine. Apartheid is there. We are here. It doesn't matter, right? That's how we are now also, right? So if we discuss about greed, hatred, and delusion, all these things are embedded within these wars and like these. So next one. Two, because past, when the colonization happened, when the apartheid happened, we did not have, many of us did not have social media. We did not have like live stream genocide. So we are now having live stream genocide in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We just like scroll through. 2 are dead, 3 are dead. Oh, fine, we are going to bed, right? Like that's how we are. Like a normal thing, it's fine. And at the same time, we are helpless too, because we don't have a way to do anything about it. That's also there, because we are stuck in different our worlds, and we are like stuck in our everyday lives also. So in Gaza, I'm sorry, I'm so in Gaza, what is happening, we can also call it Holocaust as well. It's genocide, but at the same time, we can call it Holocaust as well. What Germans did to Jewish people is happening in Gaza too right now. And I don't think we can call it a war or conflict, because it's not like between equal powers. It's not. Because it's not like the people of Gaza also wanted a war. It's not like that. They're just getting attacked and attacked. That's why it's called genocide or Holocaust. So over 17,000 children have reportedly been killed in Gaza, with more than 33,000 injured. These are children. This is like numbers of children. A child being killed. Imagine a child being injured. And there are thousands are missing. And like they are trapped under the rubbles of Gaza. And also, Gaza has the highest number of child amputees. So they don't have limbs. And most of them have what it is like, right? So put all the numbers aside, because we are like tend to think with numbers, and we are trying to like measure it with numbers. Put it aside. How does this war have become this easy? Because currently, most of the countries use AI in warfare. So that has become easy. So I want you to picture a giant quiet building filled with thousands of computer processors. It is cold, dark, and filled with a humming sound of flashing green lights. Inside the building, 2 computer chips are sitting side by side on exact same shelf. On the first chip, an artificial intelligence program is running a war. It is tracking drones, calculating explosions, picking human targets, and like facilitating like a genocide. On the other second chip, just an inch away, another AI program is helping a Buddhist community translate ancient text, right? About loving kindness, metta, and how to stop human suffering. The soldier and the monk will never meet, but they are sharing the exact same machine. And here is the difficult truth. Every time we pay for digital tools to spread peace, our money helps maintain the very same structure that powers warfare. So when we like spend money on AI, to thinking that, oh, this is for the world peace, but they are using that money for a war. That's how it is being created. So we cannot let the machines we use to heal the world be the exact machines we use to destroy it, right? So next time when you are using AI, just think so many times, should I do it or not? I'm just saying. Okay, it's easy, I know, but as students, just think about it. The moral value or moral, what do you call it, responsibility you have for it, right? So we live in a world with so many rules, so many regulations. There are human rights and treaties we signed to like build peace. But do we actually have peace? And when we say something, people would say, oh, this is politically incorrect. You cannot say this. Like, dude, so many things are happening at the ground level. I'm just using one word and you are like correcting me. This is the thing. So we have this beautified language to make icing the cake. Like there's a lot of bad things happening inside, but we use politically correct butterfly language to make it like nicer, beautiful and all. But what's actually happening, we don't talk about it. We are scared to talk about war, right? We are scared of it. But think. So the treaties are there, human rights are there, and UN is there, but the war is happening. And the war consumes a lot of money, billions of dollars a day. From where? So I went to the doctor yesterday, and there's copay, there's this, that, no healthcare. And 60,000 people in USA dies per year without healthcare. And they use like tax money, public tax money, to like weapon companies, that's private companies. So they're giving away your and my tax money to a weapon company to bomb people or children, right? So our tax money, we have not signed up for this. We have not signed up for a war, right? But we are paying for a war without even knowing that. And we like just forget about it. We think America is great. But is it actually? I don't know. I should not talk like this, but it doesn't matter. So, yeah. So we have not given consent to like this kind of thing, but they're doing it. And this is like a detouring a bit. So they are like having this moon expeditions, right? So they're going to the moon and people are so happy. People are saying, oh, they're going to the moon. It's not that easy. Moon has a lot of minerals. So people's tax money being used to go to the moon, and minerals will be taken by companies and they will be selling to us again. So all these things are like a business. It's not that easy. We think it's very cool to go to moon. It's not like human, like a victory of human race. It's not. It's a victory of like one company or two. That's it. Warfare is the same. It's a victory of some companies, like which are making weapons. Then, so as a Buddhist, do we have final answers? We'll try, okay? I don't think we have final answers, but we can try. And so let's go to the Buddha's time. So it's not very different from today. It's the same, but the mechanics were different maybe, because now we are using a lot of like technologically advanced tools to like kill people. But that time they will just go and just kill people, stab and all. So do you know what happened in Sakyan's clan? Okay, I'll give you like a brief story. It's a cool story. So there's Pasenadi Kosol King Pasenadi Kosol, and there's Sakyan's clan, that's Buddha's clan. So Pasenadi Kosol is, Sakyan's clans is like high caste, and Pasenadi Kosol is like the hierarchy. So he always think with this high caste people, Sakyans are very egoistic, and he wanted to like have some kind of a connection with them. And then he's thinking, he's strategizing, and he's thinking, I should get married to one of the princes from there. So then he asked Sakyans, can I have one of your princes to get married? Then Sakyans, they don't like it because they don't want to like give away their high caste princess to this low caste, but high level king, because he can massacre us also. So then you have to give someone. So what they do, they find like a slave girl's daughter, and then they dress her as royalty, and then give her away to Pasenadi Kosol. So Pasenadi Kosol get married to this slave girl's daughter, and they are like happily living, and they have a son. When the son is 16 years old, son wanted to go and see his this very high caste relatives. So he asked, and then mom and like the Pasenadi Kosol says, yeah, you go and see them. So he goes. When he goes, before he comes, Sakyans think, our younger one should not bow to this low caste person, so they should go away. So they send away. Okay, there are different versions of the story. There's no like one version of the story. That lady was saying no. Yeah, I saw it. I wanted to say that earlier, but this is like one version of the story, okay? So then what happens? So then they send like young people away, and the old people are there. Then this son Vitutaba, he comes and he bows to the royalty, and then he's so happy. He gets like royal, what is it, kind of treatments, and then he's happy, and then he left. But he forgot his sword. He wanted to come back. So he came back. When he is coming back, one slave girl is like washing the seat he sat, cursing him, saying, this like slave girl's son sat on here and I had to do all the hard work. And washing the seat with milk. So the son get to know that he's like from a low caste family, and he was so angry. He wanted to get revenge. He vows that he will like wash that seat with blood of Sakyans. So then he returns, and Pasenadi Kosol, he gets to know that, and he stripped away the royalty titles from the daughter, from the wife and the son. Then Buddha gets to know that, and Buddha says to Pasenadi Kosal, don't do that. This is your wife and son, so don't do that. But then he like again restored the royalty. Then what happens? Like Pasenadi Kosal dies, and then Vidudaba becomes the king. So he goes back to like get the revenge. Buddha is sitting under like under a tree without branches, and he says. Then Vidudaba asks, like, why are you sitting under a tree without a shade? And he says, I have my kins, and kins are my like shade, so I'm just sitting here. And he disrupt this war 3 times. Buddha like tried to like stop it 3 times, but the 4th time he was unable to do so. And also he sees that there's bad karma of Sakyans also, so he just leave it there, and then they all die. Like Vidudaba kills most of the Sakyans. But at that night, Vidudaba camps by a river, but there was a flash flood, and Vidudaba also like gets killed by the flash flood. This is like one version of the story. So Buddha, the most like the enlightened one, could not stop the war, but he did not. He tried, right? He tried. So we have to try too. And there are different levels of trying as well. There are like, so one of the levels is, so what are the Buddhist solutions? So one of the levels is like, we recently saw how this peace walk, this was so popular, sponsored by so many people, performed well. It's a good endeavor, but at the same time, it could not achieve world peace as well, right? They could walk so much, but it doesn't mean that world peace will like be there in the second day. I think this walk was not like a passive walk. It's an active political act. So they were silently telling the world that world peace is needed. And they had a lot of institutional backing. So it's a one level of doing that. And it was led by a Vietnamese monk, Panyakara, and Aloka the dog. I think that dog is so sad. He walked so much, okay, like not our home dog. So, and there are people, some of my friends, who are trying to achieve world peace through different levels. Some of them are writing pieces. Some of them are like doing personal fights. So I'll give you like one example. So he's my student, Netivit Choti Paisal, if I pronounce it correctly. So he's from Thailand, and he's the Thailand's first conscientious objector. So he objected to the military service. So he said that I'm a Buddhist, so I can't enlist in military or get the military training. So as you might know, in Thailand, when you're like 21 years of age, you have to enlist to military, and there will be a draw, and that you have to like pick from like black and red. If you get the red card, you have to be enlisted in military and serve the military for some years. But Netivit, he refused to do that. He said that I'm a Buddhist, so I'm not going to be in the military at any level. So he refused to take participate in the drawing itself. And he is writing so much, and some of his writings, he says, if you have 5,000 bahts, or if you are like connected to like political families, there's a way of like escaping that too. So his father being asked by the military recruitment people, just give us 5,000 bahts, then your son will be fine. But they did not do it. So now, when he was 15 years age, so many of his classmates, they were like, they reserved military training, which was not the real enlistment in army, but get military training once a week for continuous 3 years. So he refused that also. And this was seen as something very emasculine. Like, if you are a man, you should not do that. You should be in the military. That's the manly thing to do. Like, so being violent is encouraged as a manly thing to do. Last month, the Constitutional Court decided that the law which is making military enlistment or training compulsory does not violate the individual freedom stated in the Constitution. So Netivit faces his next court date on 22nd of July in the criminal court, and he can get imprisoned for 3 years. But he says it's fine. It's only 3 years. I'll be there and come back. But we are trying so hard to like rescue him from that thing, but I don't know. So if I may ask a question from the audience, why should you refuse this kind of a military training as a Buddhist? What is the principle for do that? Is there any principle or so many principles? Exactly. One is abstain from killing. So military has that potential at any point of time, be the killing machine, right? So if you are a Buddhist, you are trying to abstain from killing. So it doesn't matter whether you are like in the front line, whether you are a consultant in military, whether you are a cleaner in military, you are in the war machinery. So if you are a Buddhist, refusing that would be the best thing. So that is an act of Buddhist, that is a Buddhist act. And that is a non-violent protest also, in a way. And in Dhammapada, there's this idea, I'll try to pronounce it properly. Sabbe tasanti dandasa, sabbe bhayanti machuno, attanang upamang katva, nahenaya nagahate. All tremble at violence, all fear death. Putting oneself in the place of another, one should not kill, nor cause another to kill. So if you don't want to get killed, you should not kill either. If you don't want to get hurt by other people's words, you should not speak hate speech. So that's the thing. If you want to be fine, if you think that these are not fine, this should not happen to me, then you should not do that to other people also. That's the core idea. So that's another one. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the slide. Yeah, and the last one, rejecting the wrong livelihood. So in the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha explicitly outlined which constitutes a right livelihood. So he named 5 specific traits that lay Buddhists should completely avoid because they harm other sentient beings. One of those 5 is the trade in weapons and human beings. So if you are like in military, you are kind of encouraging weapon trading, right? So you should not do that. So last slide, I'll stop from there. Oh. So this is from my home. So I'll read something out. So among the 3 celebrations of Vesak, birth, becoming Buddha, and death, I often relate most with the death of the Buddha for some reason. I imagine the 80-year-old Buddha with a weary face, longing to lie down and rest. Sunflowers fall gently on his body as Ananda weeps beside him. With the Buddha's advanced age, perhaps only a few monks remain with him. A soft breeze carries his final breath. Thousands of years later, I read what Buddha has said or not said. I try to understand how people perceive Buddha with their own ways of devotion, veneration, and wisdom. I do not know whether there is a true Dhamma or whether I should be bothered by it. But in some moments, I feel like I see Buddha through and understand. I see you through and understand you within my own existence. I think that is Dharma, and it does not matter what is written, said, or not said. Finally, I would say what we can do is tell people, as many as possible, that the Dharma is the same to everyone. Even Buddha could not escape it. So there is no point of wars or conflict, since we are all going to succumb to the illness, old age, and finally to death. So Nibbana is surrendering to the death. And by surrendering, you defeat the death. That's Nibbana for my understanding. So spread the message of love, spread the message that we all are going to die. And Buddha, the most enlightened one, could not escape that. So he got sick, he was so weak, and then he died in 80 years old. Like I haven't seen, I always imagine him as an old man because there's no images of Buddha being picture. I haven't seen any of the pictures him as an old man, and it amazes me all the time. So I will end with the Dhammapada Gatha. Sabbe papas sakaranang kusalas upasampada sachitta paryodapanang etang buddhanusasana. To avoid all evil, to cultivate good, and to purify one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for teaching us this evening. Let's open it up for some questions. Oh, okay.
Or don't ask difficult questions.
Oh, so it's very mild, actually. It's very well. Yeah. Thank you very much, Anushka. Actually, it's very sorry, enlightened presentation. Actually, of course, I learned a lot from this work. I'm just curious, actually, because Thailand, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, we consider that most of people are identified as a Buddhist community there. But still, this country haven't declared that Buddhism as a state religion. Still not really. And trace back to the Ashoka's time, 2,300 years ago. So Ashoka, after he converted into Buddhism, that he introduced some of the rules, which we can see from his Pillar Edict, So do you think, like, I'm just curious, actually, just, if you don't want this, can leave it. If Buddhism could be declared as a state religion or state, of course, this constitution is important that, to declaration for this one. So is it possible to have, to obtain the real world peace, as we say, so-called world peace? So,
although we don't have, like, Thailand doesn't have it, but Sri Lanka has Buddhism as like as they're saying in the constitution, it's given the top priority, and all the other religions are following. So it has given the top priority. So giving top priority has made the things worse. So Sinhala Buddhist majority always think we are the superior people. So we have to preserve true Dhamma. So we have to like attack other minorities once in a while. And that's how you preserve Dharma. So introducing this kind of rigid systems would not work. What would work is like, let the constitutions be, but Buddhism should be like in the informal other like spaces, public as well as personal. But when you include it in a constitution, it becomes something different. It achieves some kind of like a violent authority, which we can't control after a point. So what's happening in Sri Lanka or Myanmar or Laos, most of the Theravada countries, I think, is because state has a different kind of a relationship with Buddhism. That's the problem. So I don't think like including it in the constitution would can achieve anything. Because when you include any kind of, not only Buddhism, any kind of religion or community in the constitution, making them like a priority or superior, it naturally discriminates other communities. It has that tendency. So it will lead to like, not world peace, it will lead to communal violence, I would say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Next question. Yeah, okay.
Ready? Okay. So as we all know, in Buddhism, it's all about cause and effect. Even the Buddha could not save his own Sakya clan from being killed. The question is, what is your suggestion for our educational system to enhance or promote ethics for young children? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. Because right now, the education systems all over the world are going towards STEM education. It's all about science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And if you do that, you can like go higher and earn a lot of money, marry to like a good person. That's the dream, right? Like you have 9 to 5 job, you have like some apartment and a vehicle, and that's life. And then you retire in 65 and then die. That's fine, right? Like it's a good life. It's fine. I don't like say it's not a good life, but I'm saying there's more to life than that. So if you like very good at like maths or whatever, but if you don't have any kind of empathy, sympathy, kindness, then that's a problem, right? That's the problem education system today like face. Because you're like so into achieving goals in a very quantitative way, but the quality of the education is not the same. Because in Sri Lanka, most of the time we say, oh, you have to be this, that. The education system is fine, but we had war for 30 years. Why? Because we have not taught our children how to exist with one another, how to tolerate the other communities, how to tolerate the other cultures. So it is essential for like to education systems to have ethics and like cultivate like value systems, human, how to be a human, or how to be empathetic or sympathetic towards other human beings and other beings, basically. Thank you.
Okay, may I ask you a question? Personally, do believe that Buddhist venerable monk and venerable nun can help this world to create and maintain peace and world peace. Okay, individually, do you believe venerable monks and nuns can have this role to create and maintain the world peace?
I think venerable nuns and monks are not a homogeneous group. So they are not like all similar. They have their different, because we all are coming from a society which is very sick. So from that society, we can't expect all the venerable monks and nuns to be like pure. So they can lead the ways, but there are a lot of monks and nuns who are corrupt, who are like not living according to the standards we expect, and who are sometimes, I feel, if I may give you like an example from Sri Lanka, which is a very harsh example. I hope you are like, it's okay to listen to this. So this is like a very high ranked monk. So he abused like a 13-year-old girl. It's a very high rank monk. Then the government is protecting this monk, and he's out of bail now. So all these things are happening. So I don't think he can lead the world to peace. So he can't, right? So that's the thing. So the monks and nuns, I respect them, everything is there, but I think we have to be very careful when we choosing people who are leading the world towards peace. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, you ask.
I think we have just working for peace recently. Can you think per Buddhism principle, we can create another working for peace? Because in the world right now, on the brink of worldwide war, so we need another working for peace. Can you think we can do that when we organize by Buddhist principle?
So you're asking whether we can organize a walk for peace again? Yeah, we can. If there's people to walk. We can organize something. We can like ask people to join, and like if there's people to walk, it's fine. I can't walk. That's for sure. Sorry. Thank you.
Any questions more?
Yeah, there's another 10 minutes. You can grill me again.
Rebel Sao Khan, do you want to ask Professor only one question? Because you are an active monk, I know. Yes. English only.
Sorry, I hope you understand my English. And today is honor Memorial Day, so we are sacrifice. We are honored to the enemy who are sacrificed for our peace. So, what do you think? Become enemy is become a killer. So, how do you feel people our army to protect, to make our community peaceful harmony? So what do you respond to those enemy who are sacrificed their life for our living?
Yeah, I think Buddha has given the answer already in a one sutta, saying that if somebody asked him like whether the soldier would go to heaven, and he refused to answer. He said like, I can't answer 3 times. Then 4th time he said, of course he's going to hell. You should know that. All the soldiers will be in hell. So it has an answer. It says like any kind of killing is killing. When you say that you're saving this community, you're killing someone from the other community, which you don't even know. Sometimes I imagine that situation. Like if I am a soldier, and if I am in the front line, I'm meeting someone I don't know, and I have to kill that person. Because it's interesting psychology, right? Like when you think about it. Because I have interviewed so many soldiers who were in Sri Lankan military, who has lost limbs and some only torso. So there's no legs, no hands. So only a torso. So they have shared their experiences, which are horrible. So they are saying that they went to the military because there were a lot of poverty and a lot of push from the economic pressure and all these things. It's not like they wanted to become heroes or something. It's mostly because economic reasons. And they have shared that when you are in the battlefield, in 3 seconds, you have to decide whether you are going to die or whether you are going to kill the other person. So this kind of a situation, I think nobody should be. Like we should not put anybody in that kind of situation. So we should try to prevent wars instead of thinking that whether soldiers are like victorious or not. Thank you. Thank you, Venerable.
Thank you so much. Yeah, according to my village, at that time was violent and a lot of robbers and people come to our village to kill people. So we need the army to protect our people. Without army, they may kill more people. If you become army, you protect a lot of people, save a lot of people's life. So what do you think? That is bad or good?
I think that's a structural thing. So if you if somebody is coming to steal from you, there's an economic policy which is not up to the level to treat people equally. So in this world, like so much money go to like very little people, and very little money go to like so many people. So many people suffer in poverty, and they will be labeled as criminals because they don't have money, and they will steal, they will like loot, because there's a disparity in the economic structure itself. So we have to think about the bigger picture rather than thinking that, oh, somebody is trying to kill us, of course we have to protect ourselves. That's true. But what is the reason behind that? What is the reason that making somebody coming to your village and like trying to kill you? Like somebody has made some kind of a bad policies and trying to make you divide and trying to like get votes or whatever they want, some kind of a gain. There's some kind of people behind that plan. So maybe we have to think about the bigger picture also. Yes, thank you. Yes, Miss Julie.
Okay, I'm listening to your presentation. It was good, but it made me think about the obscurity of mind. Just like I can see that sometimes we don't say what we mean. The other time we don't mean what we say. But that is just the way how misunderstanding begin. And that's how the world begins. And that's how all the troubles in this world begin. We don't have peace. We think. So what is your advice to get rid of this obscurity of the mind? How we use Buddhism in this?
Yeah, I think Dharma, if there's no wars, if there's no obscurity of mind, Dharma will be a lie. Dharma is a truth because there's obscurity of the mind. That's why Dharma is there, to understand the obscurity of mind. So I think the solution lies in Dharma itself. Because if there's no war, then what Buddha said about hatred, greed, and delusion will be a lie, right? So wars will be there. That's the nature or the dharmata. And the solution he has given to us. That is Dharma itself, like how to understand the things the way they are. Then you can make peace with the things. When you are sick, you understand, oh, that's the Dharma. When you are like going to die, you understand, oh, that's the Dharma. When there's wars, you understand that's the Dharma also. But then it doesn't mean that you should not try to like make peace with yourself. You should try to do whatever you can in your capacity. Yeah, I don't think I have like a clear answer because Buddha has said everything. I don't have anything to say beyond that. Thank you.
Okay. One question. I wrote my question down. So if desire causes suffering, would a peaceful world require less ambition? Would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I get it. Of course, simple living, that's the base of ending suffering, I think. Of course, I agree with you. There's no like disagreement there.
Last question.
Yes.
How we live with the war, or how we live beyond the war.
I think like sometimes I look at the clips coming from war. Most of the time I just don't want to look at it, but sometimes I want to look at it and I do. So it's also important to understand what's happening there. But then you should not lose your peace watching that, because it should not affect your peace also. If it is affecting your peace, you can't do something to prevent it. So that's the answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anusha, for this wonderful talk, the challenging and inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so please come forward to take a group photo. This kind. Hurry up.